The survivors update.
Yeah.
On their
Wake up in the morning and wipe it off the bathroom mirror.
Isn't Dumbledore Calrissian on that show? Anyone watch The Office? No. Genius.
Anybody watch The Office?
Yeah!
References to Battlestar Galactica?
Yes!
Gene, yes.
Yes!
You watch Battlestar Galactica? No, that's because you're an idiot.
It was okay. Let's move on.
I didn't want to interrupt. You actually, I interrupted, so you're good.
I was wondering if we could go to books and who are your favorite authors?
Wow. You know what? I read a lot. I didn't actually start reading till about 7 years ago. I didn't read anything in high school. I just paid attention and then wrote my thing. But I was at a con just a couple months ago, and I got a book. This guy's wife came up to me. He didn't want to come up because he was so nervous. It was really weird. But she came up to me. She was very lovely, and she said, "My husband's a writer, and would you like to?" I said, "Absolutely. Give me his book." His name's Peter Watts. Anybody read Peter Watts stuff?
No.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. I've never read sci-fi before, so I was kind of like, well, what is this all about? I normally read like history, World War II, biographies, things like that. I don't read a lot of fiction, but it's really good. So if anybody sees it, Peter Watts is really good. But for regular authors, Lincoln Child and Douglas Preston are two of my favorites, and Wilbur Smith, all the stuff in Africa. Yeah, it's kind of, and Stephen Ambrose. Love Stephen Ambrose stuff.
I love reading ever since I was a kid. It's one of the things that got me started on my long path to nerddom. I love sci-fi and fantasy growing up. Isaac Asimov and Robert Heinlein and Ray Bradbury is easily one of my favorites, even today, after everything. And then that would segue into fantasy and Roger Zelazny and Jack Vance and one thing to another, then I'd get into another type of literature. But these days it's tough. It's tough. I read comic books, but not as much as I would wish that I could. Neil Gaiman just came out with the Graveyard Book that I have on my bedside table that I can't wait to start. But I'm still trying to finish The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, which has been many years of me trying to finish this book. But Carter Beats the Devil was the best book that I've read in recent years, I would say. Carter Beats the Devil, the author's last name is Gold. I can't think, but yeah, I know. Yeah, that would be my favorite book in recent years, I think.
So we just take for granted all of the classics and guys like Asimov and Bradbury and Heinlein and
Wheaton.
There's so all of those guys. I have a soft spot in my brain for really old Stephen King stuff. Pretty much right up until the whole Gerald's Game thing, where I'm like, really, what the hell who are you? And I really liked the last book in the Dark Tower series, and I was very satisfied with it. And I was totally satisfied with it. I thought it was. I really enjoyed the ending. I thought the ending was great. I know a lot of people are really divided on it. It's kind of like people that were really pissed off about the ending of The Sopranos. I sort of thought like, it couldn't really have ended any other way.
I love it.
I was very satisfied by it. Current authors who I absolutely love, who I will read anything by, include John Scalzi, Elizabeth Bear, Sherry Priest. In comics, Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction, Warren Ellis, Neil Gaiman, blanking on his Grant Morrison. These are guys who I absolutely love. And I don't have nearly as much time to read as I once did. And I wrote a column about this once called Time Enough at Last, where I was sort of lamenting that technology was supposed to make our lives so much easier. But it's actually just given us access to more information, and it's given us more ways to be entertained, and more ways to spend our time, and so that reading actually becomes kind of a discipline. I take about 5 minutes every day to make a piece of origami, because I have a little origami desk calendar. And it's my favorite 5 minutes of the day, because it's something that I'm doing that has nothing to do with technology. and it's just like something for me. And that used to be the time that I spent reading, that I would just sit there and read all the time. And with so much technology available in our lives and so many different ways to consume all this different media, I have actually found that I have what Kuplan called optional paralysis in Generation X, where I look at things and I'm presented with so many different things to do that I ended up just choosing to do nothing. It's one of my great failings.
Which fans make you laugh more, the anime otakus or the sci-fi, like sci-fi people?
Cosplay.
Either way.
I gotta tell you, I actually think cosplaying is really cool.
Thank you.
I think it's really fun. I think it's one of the greatest ways to like let your geek flag fly. I'm serious, and it goes back to what I was saying about conventions. Like you can't run around dressed up as a Naruto character and like go to the mall. But you can totally. Not only can you do it here, but you can do it here and then meet up other people.
Who do it too?
At Comic-Con this year, I saw a Green Lantern Corps. These guys who were like, they had all come to the con individually, but they were all dressed up as various Green Lanterns. So they were like, we're going to be a Green Lantern Corps, and we're going to hang out and go do stuff together.
Yeah!
I was hanging out with the slave Leia Corps.
That is the difference between you and me, Aaron.
There was 22 of them.
I know.
It was awesome.
Yeah, if you look at the slave Leia tag on Flickr, you should really make sure you're not at work and your wife is not in the house.
Okay.
Alright, let's go to the part where you're talking about cosplay. If you guys ever wanted to or do a cosplay, who would you cosplay as? What, either anime or?
Sci-fi.
I have a funny story about that.
Why am I not surprised? Let's start with, okay, I'm in Vegas and I'm hammered.
I'm with you. I'm only on season 2 of Battlestar.
So we ruined it for you too, huh?
No, trust me. My friends ruined it for me. They were like, "Oh, I'd be like, I'm not."
You know, it's been on iTunes and DVD.
Yeah! Best Buy!
Nobody has an excuse. Okay, go.
He's making fun of you, but being friends with Aaron Douglas means no secrets on Battlestar. That happened to me too. I was working on a game called .hack. It was actually a series of 3 games.
Woo!
And I went out, the producer was out, going out for a break, and I went out to hang out with him and talk. And he goes, so would you ever think of cosplay? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, wow, that's a pretty strong reaction. It's not even that I don't, that I think it's uncool or anything. It's just that I know that if I were to go cosplay any of my characters at a convention, there would be 12 other guys and probably 4 girls dressed as the same character.
I saw.
Whose outfits were so much, 100 times better than mine. And I'm ostensibly supposed to be that character. It would just be too embarrassing.
Yeah, but Yuri.
And I said, that said, the character that I'm playing in this game for you guys, Haseo, he has a badass outfit that if I could get away with wearing that, not to a con, but just in daily life, I would probably do that. And he just sort of nodded and went, oh, okay.
Yeah,
The next day he shows up and we're talking. He goes, so I talked to the lead designer on the game, and they said that if you'll go to Anime Expo and cosplay as Haseo, we'll spend a lot of money to make you the best Haseo outfit.
Woo! Yeah, but Yuri, the easiest.
So I had that moment where you either got to fish or cut bait. You got to either own up to it. You got to either just say, oh, I was just joking. I would never do that.
Yuri.
You got to go, yeah, I said I'd do that, huh? Maybe.
Yeah, but
my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, but Yuri, the easiest costume is Ben 10, 15-year-old Ben 10. It's just.
That would be the easiest costume. But
Yep.
would it be the cool? And I already have one of those Ben 10 jackets.
Oh yeah.
It's true. So I said, okay, I'll do it, knowing full well that this was probably a terrible idea. But I wanted to see what they were going to do. And they sent to these designers in China, and apparently they sent them a whole bunch of money. And they sent back this Haseo outfit, and I went to Anime Expo, and I put it on, and there were 10 other guys and 4 girls wearing better outfits. And that's what fandom is all about. These guys spent a lot of money getting somebody in China to do it, but you all know that you're going to do it better because
Yep.
you care.
Because it's made in the USA, man.
USA! USA!
Frack, yeah. And I've never done it since.
I had this big plan to go to Comic-Con last year and cosplay as Cory Doctorow from the XKCD comic. I had built this apparatus that was a hot air balloon that would ride on my shoulders, and it was supported by stop looking at me like that.
It's just the best story ever. Tell me more.
That were, and it was attached to like this hot air balloon, and I had a red cape, and the part of the